Captain Elena Vasquez stared at the tactical display, her knuckles white against the command console. The hegemony fleet stretched across the viewport like a constellation of death, 300 warships bearing down on Earth's last defensive line. Behind her, the bridge crew worked in tense silence, their movements precise despite the tremor in their hands. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the weight pressing on her chest. 17 human vessels operational, Captain," Lieutenant Morrison replied, his young face pale but determined. "The rest of the Sol Defense fleet is," he swallowed hard, "gone." Elena closed her eyes for a moment. 2 weeks ago, humanity had been celebrating first contact with the galactic hegemony. The aliens had seemed benevolent, even curious about Earth's diverse cultures and chaotic history. Then came the ultimatum: submit to hegemony rule or face extinction. When Earth's unified government politely declined, the aliens had responded with overwhelming force. "Incoming transmission from the hegemony flagship," Communications Officer Zhang announced. On screen, the holographic display shimmered, revealing the imposing figure of Overlord Kythera. The alien's crystalline features glowed with an eerie blue light, and its forearms gestured with practiced authority. Behind it, other hegemony officers stood at attention, their various species united under a single banner of conquest. "Human Captain." Kythera's voice resonated through the bridge's speakers, each word carefully enunciated. "Your resistance has been amusing, but 17 ships against 300? Even by human standards of irrationality, this is futile. Surrender now and your deaths will be swift." Elena stepped forward, her chin raised. "Overlord Kythera, I have a counter-proposal." The alien's head tilted, a gesture that somehow conveyed both curiosity and contempt. "Speak. Go home. Leave our system, never return, and we'll consider not hunting you across the galaxy." A sound emerged from Kythera that might have been laughter. "You threaten us? Your species has been spacefaring for barely a century. We have conquered 1,000 worlds over 10 millennia. What could you possibly possess that we should fear?" Elena's lips curved into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You're about to find out." She signaled to Morrison, who began broadcasting on all human frequencies. "This is Captain Vasquez to all remaining ships. Remember what Admiral Chen said before the Titan fell. We didn't choose this fight, but by God we're going to finish it. Execute Protocol 7, for Earth, for humanity." The response was immediate. Across the human fleet, ships that had seemed damaged beyond repair suddenly blazed to life. Hidden weapon systems emerged from concealed compartments. Most shocking of all, each vessel began to glow with the same energy signature that powered hegemony technology, but somehow different, somehow more. On the alien flagship, alarms began to sound. "Impossible," Kythera breathed. "Those energy readings. You've reverse-engineered our quantum cores?" "Reverse-engineered?" Elena laughed, and for the first time in days it was genuine. "Overlord, you've made a fundamental error about humanity. We didn't copy your technology. We improved it." Dr. Sarah Kim stepped onto the bridge, her lab coat still stained with engine grease and her eyes bright with the fever of discovery. "Captain, all ships report ready. The quantum cascade amplifiers are online." Elena nodded. "Explain it to our guests, Doctor." Kim turned to face the holographic display, her excitement barely contained. "Your quantum cores are efficient, Overlord, but they're built for safety, for predictability. Humans, we don't do predictable. We took your elegant, controlled fusion reactions and asked ourselves, what if we didn't control them?" The alien's crystalline features seemed to pale. "You're using uncontrolled quantum cascade reactions? That's madness. The slightest miscalculation could destroy entire solar systems," Kim finished cheerfully. "Yes, we know. We did the math. Turns out when you're facing extinction anyway, the risk-to-benefit ratio becomes quite acceptable." Elena watched as the tactical display updated. The 17 human ships were moving into formation, their modified cores creating energy patterns that defied everything the hegemony thought they knew about physics. But more importantly, long-range sensors were detecting something else, something that made her smile widen. "You see, Overlord," Elena continued, "you made another mistake. You assumed this was a last stand, that these 17 ships were all humanity had left." The space around the hegemony fleet began to shimmer. "But we're not defending Earth because it's our last stronghold. Elena said as the first wave of human reinforcements dropped out of quantum fold space. We're defending it because it's our home. 200 ships materialized around the alien fleet, vessels from Mars, from the asteroid belt, from the distant colonies that the hegemony had dismissed as insignificant. Each one bristled with the same impossible technology, the same human audacity that turned safety protocols into suggestions. The Luna shipyards have been working around the clock, Morrison reported, his voice now steady with confidence. The Jovian defense fleet just arrived. And Captain, we're getting signals from the Outer Rim colonies. They're folding in now. Kythera's forearms trembled as more human ships continued to appear. How many of you are there? Enough, Elena replied simply. You wanted to know what humanity possesses that you should fear? It's not our technology, Overlord. It's not our weapons or our ships. She leaned forward, her eyes burning with the intensity that had carried humans from caves to stars. It's our inability to know when we're beaten. The alien's form flickered as its ship's shields began to fluctuate under the quantum interference generated by the human fleet. We didn't choose this fight, Elena continued, her voice carrying across every ship in both fleets. We were explorers, scientists, dreamers. We wanted to join your galactic community, to learn and share and grow together, but you came to our home and told us to kneel. She straightened, and in that moment, she wasn't just a ship captain. She was the voice of every human who had ever looked at impossible odds and decided to try anyway. So here's what's going to happen, Overlord. You're going to leave. You're going to tell the hegemony that Earth is off limits. And if you ever come back... Elena's smile was sharp as broken glass. We'll show you what humans do when we actually choose the fight. The alien fleet began to retreat even before Kythera ended the transmission. As the massive ships turned and fled toward the edge of the system, Elena allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. Captain, Zhang called out, we're receiving a priority transmission from Earth Command. Put it through. Admiral Chen's weathered face appeared on screen, his eyes bright with pride and exhaustion. Well done, Captain. All of you. The fight chose us, but we chose how to finish it. Elena nodded, looking out at the stars that suddenly seemed a little bit safer. Yes, sir. We did. In the distance, Earth turned in its ancient orbit, blue and beautiful and free.